So South Korea is trying this new military exemption by having 3 or more kids, meaning that if you have 3 or more kids by the age of 30, you'll be exempted from the military service. And I don't know who came up with this idea, but it's really stupid because first off, most men actually want to serve because they view it as a rite of passage there. So them being exempted is not really a good incentive. Secondly, it's actually far too expensive to actually have kids there because even a sergeant only gets paid around $500 a month, and where the average household spends about $2,000 a month. So you're in quite the deficit. And lastly, the men aren't the problem. We know where the problem is. It's the women. The women are the ones who don't want to have the kids. So this policy, it really only affects women. If you really want this to actually move or change the needle, you have to have women in the service. So what you guys should do is actually make the women enlist, not just the men anymore, and then include this policy so then they'll be exempted, because I'm sure most of them actually won't want to be in the military. So as long as they have 3 or more kids, they won't have to go. So that's the only way this policy will actually move the needle at all, because as is right now, it will not change anything. It won't even be a blip. So this will be another useless policy that won't change nothing. But it actually does give me the idea that if you actually do have women serving, this policy actually might be enough to actually up the birth rate enough. I mean, there's nothing you can do. This is the way it's going to be. You'll never have enough women that want to have babies anymore, because that time is done. We have to wait for basically for artificial wombs, because that's the only way that we're going to get the birth rate up, because women just don't want to do it anymore, and we're not going to force them either. So by at least having them serve in the military, you get some additional military personnel. I mean, it's going to be just like in the American and the Canadian military, completely useless, but that at least might move the birth rate up a little bit.